Hello everyone, welcome to the fourth and final episode of my Veronaville tour 10 rounds later. If you haven't seen the previous episode, the playlist will be linked in the description. For everyone else, I am finally wrapping up this series after recording the footage a whole year ago now. How mad is that? That is how long it's taken to get this all out. It might not seem like it, but my videos are actually quite heavily edited because I chop over my words and things, so it takes me a long time to chop it all up and put it all together and flow well as the length of the episodes, and I just struggle to find the time and motivation to edit. Anyway, we've got there in the end. In this episode, we're going to be covering the students currently at university in Academie Le Tour, which are all part of the pre-made families from Veronaville, and then coming back to the main hood and catching up with the Academie Le Tour Premades Sims who are now all graduated and living in the main hood. Just to let you know that partway through I kind of gave up putting in the overlays with the icons and things, just because it was very time consuming to do, so not really worth it for like how little value it gave, so sorry about that. So there'll be a little bit less to look at on screen, but I do pop in notes and stuff, so do keep an eye out for them. But yeah, other than that, let's get into it. So now we're at Academie Le Tour, and as you can see, there's only one active household here in Shakespeare Hall. All of the Academie Premades graduated and moved out, and this doesn't bother me because I imagine that all of the dormies and that occupy these houses, so it really doesn't matter to me to only have one active household in here. There are some really great community lots here, gym and a nightclub. There's a lot more going on in the university than in the main hood, and I really wish there was a way that Sims from the main hood could visit the university hood. But I did ask Midge once and she looked into it, and I think it would be quite complicated, potentially not even possible to do, so that is a huge shame. You know, I'd hope that people who have graduated that used to really love going to the gym could still come here and use the gym here, but I guess it's just not possible, which is such a shame. I'd really like to be able to do that. So this is the Verona household in Shakespeare Hall, so original, right? And so I'll load into them and we'll go through all of these faces, and most of them will be familiar, but one may not be. So here we are in the Shakespeare Hall dormitory, which is a renovation I did myself of one of the default Maxis dorms. Can't remember what it was called now. Something quite generic like Sim State something. So I redid it. Ended up looking like slightly Greek inspired somehow. It was actually a CC free renovation initially. I might have added some bits on bobs of custom content as I've played along, like the hot tub you can see in the outside patio area here. So I'll go through the Sims and then we can take a look around the dorm after. So I'll start with the oldest Capp living here, and that is Hal. He's still got his slightly funky look. He actually left his Max's hair. I guess I just thought it suited him and couldn't quite find one to replace it and still have a look at it, but I might have a look what we could change it to maybe when he grows up. But it's probably one of the nicer Max's styles. Hal is a pleasure sim, and his secondary is Fortune, but he is he's not far off finishing at university, just another 2 days. So when he becomes an adult and graduates, his aspirations will be recalculated, because I probably gave this pleasure aspiration to him based on just what he gave me the sense of as a teen, and his secondary based on that original interest calculator. His current lifetime wish is to earn 100,000, but now I'm not sure how much that suits him. I think maybe becoming a rock god would be better suited. As you can see, he's got 3 wants here related to playing instruments, so he is very into that. He's scraping by university, really, to be honest. He's really not doing so well. He's been on academic probation at least once, maybe twice, so his age will be increased a little bit when he does get out of university. I think I might have mentioned it in Tybalt's part that if it wasn't actually for Tybalt inviting him round and playing some chess with him, he would have never, well, he would have dropped out by now because he really needed some logic skill points at the time. So, but hopefully he can make it through one more semester. I think honestly, when it gets this far, I might just force them because it would just annoy me to have wasted all the time to get to that final semester and they drop out. But we'll have to see. He can. But at the same time, him sitting in the sim bin for 2 days is much better than actually skipping the whole university experience. Hal is outgoing and serious. His traits are virtuoso, brooding, loves the outdoors, eco-friendly, natural cook. Wow, really? And loves the cold. Oh, and as you can see, he has reached maximum enthusiasm in music and dance. And obviously that goes without saying, his hobby is music and dance, completely maxed out, absolutely loves it. It's all he thinks about. So his head is always thinking about what he can be jamming on instead of doing any uni work. His interests are crime, food, school, money, weather, environment, culture, travel, and sci-fi. And he hates sports, health, and animals. He grew with the emotional control trait, so that will have made him, one nicer and one shyer. Yeah. Other than that, we're probably not going to get too much out of his interests. He did have a teen job and get fired back here. And really, it's just the friends and family stuff. Oh yeah, here we can see he got put on academic probation. Yes, I think it was just the once. And he lost Cornwall as a best friend when he caught Cornwall cheating on his auntie Reagan. They were really close, and he was really shocked and disappointed at his behaviour at that point. So let's have a look at his relationships then. He is currently dating bottom Summerdream. They are going steady. They have a pretty good relationship, but they both do have higher attraction with other people. Well, Hal only really at Roxie Sharpe, and he will really have his heart broken if he goes down that route. And he hates her anyway because of what he did between Cornwall and Reagan. She did. But I think actually there's quite a few people that fancy bottom, so we'll have to see. He's really good friends with his sister Desdemona Benedick Monty, and he's getting there with his younger siblings Ariel and Thomas, but that could definitely use a bit more work. It was quite an age gap with him and Thomas, so hopefully in his final semester, now that Thomas has joined him here, they might connect a little bit. He's really close with his older cousin Tybalt, Beatrice Monty, and his auntie and uncle Albany and Goneril, his older sister Miranda, Romeo Monty Puck Summerdream, really still loves Arnie, his mom and dad stock. Did I just call? Oh, I'm an idiot. I said Albany and Goneril with his auntie and uncle. They're his mom and dad. Obviously he was best friends with Cornwall, but yeah, that relationship has taken a bit of a hit, but I'm sure they can smooth it back over. He's friends with Hermia and getting there with his cousin Juliet. Hal's original bio says, though he seems abrasive, little Hal is actually a very thoughtful boy. Will he mature into a healthy sim despite his siblings' torment? And his new bio says, I seem to have quit without saving the bios. Yeah, but luckily I have them written down, so I'll just read off that. And I can always type them up into the game at another time. I'm an absolute idiot. So I've got down for Hal that as he matured, Hal realised the torment, in quotations, he received from his sisters was out of love, and he grew very close to them, though he could make more effort with his youngest siblings. Hal is certainly happy and healthy, but he is really scraping by in university. All he really cares about is making music. Can Hal and Bottom's pleasure-seeking relationship survive through adulthood? So, I guess I'll come back to Bottom. So let's go see another Capp. So here we have the very beautiful Desdemona Capp. I probably should have mentioned a lot sooner that the reason that Sims at different ages have different number of wants and want slots is because I use a mod called, I don't actually know what it's called, growing up wants panel or something by Nopkey, and that basically means Sims can earn a new want slot or a want lock at any age they grow up between if they have that goal, that aspiration. So some teens that have aged from a child into a teenager, for example, really well will have had another want slot and things like that. But I do make sure that once they do graduate, they do get that normal 6 wants and 2 want locks if they don't have that already. But anyway, here's Desdemona. She's a knowledge sim with a secondary of popularity. She is also really close to finishing university, just 2 days away. And then at what point her aspirations will also be recalculated. Her current lifetime wish is to become a mad scientist, so we'll have to see if she wants to pursue the science career or something else. She is a physics major. Doing pretty well, GPA 3.5. She's really quite studious and focused. So yeah, I think she'll go on to do really well and do some great things. And I think she's like one of the prettiest Sims. Honestly, she's absolutely gorgeous. She is neat and otherwise balanced. Her traits are a supernatural fan, a social butterfly, a workaholic, and a brooding. And that's it. She's in need of some other traits. I guess she was never given another trait from aging up. Whoops, we'll have to sort that out. Her hobby is science, and her interests are politics, crime, food, sport, school, paranormal, culture, fashion, and sci-fi. And she hates health, toys, and that's it. So pretty good range of interests there. Lots of high ones and not many low ones. Usual good friends, family stuff. She grew as a responsible sim. So that means she became 1 point neater and 1 point more serious. So she is currently with Benedick and they have been together since teenagers. Let's find it. Yeah, they fell in love as teenagers and have been together ever since. They waited till college to have their first woohoo. And yeah, they're still doing well together. 2 bolts, going steady, 100 over 100. She gets on really well with her brother Capp, bottom Summerdream, her younger sister Ariel. She's just getting to know her youngest brother Thomas. She loves her older sister Miranda, her cousin Juliet, her mum and dad. She's good friends with Mitch Indie and her cousin Valeria Capp and her mum and dad Stark Harney. Cousin Tybalt, she's actually getting on really well with Bianca Monty, which is surprising. That's nice. They might become friends soon. I guess they've been running into each other a lot at family get-togethers. And she's distant friends with Puck Summerdream. They probably need to work on that relationship a little bit more. But yeah, she's getting there with quite a few people. So her popularity aspiration should hopefully get her friends with Puck, Bottom, and Mercutio soon, and maybe Uncle Kent too. And Romeo Monty. Desdemona's original bio says, Desdemona wants to be just like her older sister Miranda. Will she be able to carve her own path in such a large family? And her new bio is, while Desdemona might not be much like her sister Miranda, who she has always admired so much, they've maintained a wonderful, strong relationship. She's beginning to carve her own path, as she is a lot more studious than most of her siblings, so she's excelling in university and will go on to do great things. It seems like the times are finally starting to change, as her and Benedick's relationship has not received any tension from the feuding families, so they may be able to enjoy a peaceful life together, unlike her older sister and cousins. The next Capp we have living here is Ariel, and that is the youngest sim in the neighbourhood when you start. So that's a good way to judge the time frame. Ariel has gone from a toddler to a junior at university, so I don't know, you tell me. Probably has been about 20 years then, I'd say. So thank you, Ariel, for being a good timestamp there. So Ariel is now a pleasure sim. Her aspiration was recalculated kind of towards the start of university from her being a teenager. She actually used to be a knowledge sim, but is now a pleasure sim with a secondary of fortune. I'm not sure what her secondary was before, and I guess I couldn't decide which tree to go up for her just yet. Her current lifetime wish is to own 5 top level businesses. I'm not sure how well that suits her, but I would like her to own a business, and I'll get on to why in a little while. Ariel is sloppy and active. Let's see how her personality changed. She grew up with emotional control, also, so shyer and nicer. She has become. Don't know why I'm talking like Yoda. Traits she has. Loves the outdoors, athletic, clumsy, eco-friendly, and a workaholic. Her hobby is nature, but as you can see, she hasn't really developed any enthusiasm in it at all. And that is because she has actually maxed the creativity skill as a teenager. She got really into art and painting, and she spent a lot of time doing that and became really good at it. So, whilst I've thought about changing her hobby to arts and crafts, I think that her sub hobby should be flower arranging, which I believe the creativity skill helps with, like helps to build those talent badges faster. So yeah, I think it would be nice if she could do some flower arranging and open up a flower shop. We've recently got a flower arranging bench here in this dorm, so she's just started dabbling, and I guess I'll see how she takes to it and then decide when she's graduating whether that is the route she should go down, or maybe we just switch her over to arts and crafts. She is interested in crime, food, work, money, paranormal, weather, environment, culture, fashion, and travel. So as you can see, this really high environment and weather interest does point her towards nature, but then I guess culture and fashion here do point towards art. So we'll have to see. She really could go either way. She hates school, health, toys, and sci-fi. I don't know what it was about her that I guess made me feel like she was a knowledge sim as a teenager. I guess she frequently had skill gaining wants and took up painting as a child. Not sure if that's a mod or not. Can kids paint by default without a mod? I'm not sure. She is currently a biology major, doing pretty well, 3.5, but as I said, she had started university already before I made my calculator, so she did get through those first semesters as a knowledge sim, and that really helped. So maybe she'll start to decline now that she is a pleasure sim. And as you can see, currently she has really shallow wants, so who knows, she might start going downhill now. As you can see from her memories, she has not had any romance in her life yet. She was actually rejected from a kiss from Alex Summerdream. Yeah, she fancied him as a teenager, but Alex was always far more interested in her cousin Valeria. So yeah, she never found anyone, but Ariel is actually bisexual. So we'll have to see if she finds anyone here, but there is a teenager that if she can wait long enough that they might be able to blossom something despite quite an age gap. We'll have to see. So looking at her relationships, she's great friends with her youngest sibling, Thomas. She lived with him for quite a while, along with her sister, Desdemona. She's a lot more distant with her older brother, Hal, but he's really good friends with her older sister, Miranda. Really good relationship with her mum and dad. Great relationship with her cousin, Valeria, despite the, I guess there was no hard feelings towards her. She very much respected who Alex chose, so she has no bitterness towards Valeria, which is really nice of her. She has a great relationship with Kent Capp. I think they bonded over being knowledge sims when she used to be. So maybe they'll drift apart a little bit. I love their mom and dad's dog Arnie. Great friends with Beatrice Monty, and has grown apart from Alex a little bit. She's just kind of stayed away from him since the rejection. But Alex and Valeria will soon be joining them. Today, actually. So we'll have to see what happens between Alex and Ariel sharing a dorm together. Spark could fly, who knows? Ariel's original bio said, the youngest in a large family, Ariel just hopes she won't get lost in the shuffle. Can she get enough attention from her parents with all her siblings around? And her new bio is, Ariel got a wonderful start in life. Surrounded by a big loving family, she built excellent relationships with her parents and siblings and is looking forward to making some more friends in university. However, Ariel has been unlucky in love so far as Alex Summerdream rejected her in favour of her cousin Valeria. Can she find a partner in college or will she be entering adulthood alone? Ariel is smart and talented, so has everything she needs to do well in her studies, but since teenhood, her priorities shifted from knowledge to pleasure, so will she have the dedication? And now moving on to the youngest member of the Capp family line here is Thomas, the youngest and final child of Albany and Goneril Capp. So he is a knowledge sim with a secondary of fortune. He has just started university a day ago, so he is really new here. As you can see, he's a little bit on the pudgy side, unfortunately. I guess he's been putting the weight on at the family parties. I should always remember to budge the hunger down when they're at parties, because that's when they end up getting fat. His current lifetime wish is to become top of the military career, and he hasn't declared a major yet, but I'm sure he'll do really well. I'm thinking the physics major will suit him really well. He's fearing getting put on academic probation and wants to write the term paper, and also wants his cousin Valeria to join him at college, and she will be today, so that'll be nice. He is neat and otherwise very balanced. His traits are supernatural fan, workaholic, neat genius, loves the cold, and a computer whiz. His hobby is also science and also specifically stargazing, and he has in fact been abducted by aliens before here, but oh no, that's Kent. This is Uncle Kent. There's one for him here somewhere. Yeah, he was actually abducted before Ken ever was, but he was a teenager, so obviously no risk of pregnancy there. His interests are crime, sports, work, school, entertainment, paranormal, weather, travel, and sci-fi, and he hates toys and animals. So yeah, hopefully with his high school interest, he'll do very well in university. Let's take a look, see if there's anything else worth mentioning in his memories. He got busted for sneaking out with his cousin Valeria. It's kind of funny. He did really well in school and got some scholarships, including the one for being abducted by aliens. And he had his very first kiss with Luciana Summerdream and fell in love with her and started going steady with her. She's still a teenager and will be for a little bit longer, like another 7 days, something I think it is. So she'll be joining eventually, so we'll have to see if either of them are stray in between that time. And they maintain their love status but not going steady. He grew as a good manners sim, so that's why he has gotten neater and nicer. And if we look at his relationships, we can see that he gets on really well with his older sister Ariel, his girlfriend Luciana, his mom and dad, cousin Julia, cousin Valeria, Alex Summerdream, his mom and dad's dog, and Olivia Monty. He's not had a chance yet to make friends with his fellow dorm mates, but hopefully he will, particularly his older siblings Desdemona and Hal. The little bio I have written for Thomas says, as the youngest of such... Wait, so if this one's saved... I don't know what's gone on with these bios. Why some have saved and some haven't. So Thomas's bio says, as the youngest in such a large family with quite a significant age gap, Thomas has only bonded with his youngest older sibling, Ariel, so far. Will he eventually build bonds and fit in more with the wider Capp family? Thomas is extremely dedicated, driven by knowledge and fortune. There's no doubt he will excel in university. So here we have Benedick Monty. He is just about to do his final exam in just 2 hours. So obviously he's a twin with Beatrice, so it's a little bit strange that Beatrice has graduated and he hasn't. I'll definitely need to make sure I match their ages up when he does graduate. But it's because I have a mod that prevents exams being passed a certain time at night, so they're not going to exams at all kinds of ridiculous hours. So his final exam got postponed a day. So he has one more day here than Beatrice does. They'll probably get his exam over with in the morning and have a party and graduate. So it'll just be a day's difference. So that can easily be sorted out. He is a knowledge sim with a secondary of fortune, and that is about to be recalculated when he graduates. His current lifetime one is to become top of the paranormal career. and he is in the psychology major, doing extremely well with a GPA of 3.8, and he's about to absolutely smash his final exam with a very full progress bar here. Benedick is sloppy, shy, active, and nice. He grew as a mediator, so that made him, I'm not sure, seems to have become more serious, but I think that might have been encouragement. Nicer and lazy, it looks like. I think I might have changed my mind somewhere along the way about what that does. But anyway, yeah, so his personality is slightly different to his genetic personality, but that is okay. His traits are athletic, slob, shy, supernatural fan, eco-friendly, loves the heat, loves the outdoors, and a natural cook. So quite a big bunch of traits there. I guess just loads of ideas flew into my mind for him. His hobby is also science and also stargazing. I honestly tried to keep away from this telescope enthusiasm thing, but what can you do? It happens. He definitely does have a fascination with the occult and all things strange. His interests are politics, crime, food, sports, money, paranormal, weather, environment, and sci-fi. And he hates entertainment, health, toys, and animals. From his memories, you can see. Wait, what? I did not know this happened, or do not remember that this happened. Benedick and Miranda kissed when? I guess that was when Miranda was sort of exploring her romantic side. She never did anything serious to cheat on Mercutio, but I guess she did have a little experiment around. But I think he then soon realised he was very committed to Desdemona. So unless I'm being absolutely blind, he doesn't seem to have a memory of going steady with Desdemona, although they are. So I'm not sure at what point in the timeline that happened, but I'm pretty sure it will be after this sort of experimental kiss that he had with Miranda that never went anywhere. All of his other love memories are definitely for Desdemona, and he has not looked elsewhere since, but who knows, that might suggest that cracks might show in adulthood. Let's have a look at their relationship. 2 bolts, really strong, going steady. He's friends with Bottom, Summerdream, and Hal Capp. He's getting to know Ariel Capp quite well. He's friends with his twin sister Beatrice, very much so, and his dad Antonio. He's friends with Tybalt Capp and Puck Summerdream, and his dad's cat Nala, and he's friends with Mercutio Monty as well. And he's not that close with Miranda, but they do have 3 bolts. So yeah, there's actually a few Sims he does have higher chemistry with than Desdemona. And what about her? She actually doesn't have 3 bolts with anybody, so Benedick is really up there for her. So it will be interesting if he caves to these 3 bolts at all. I don't think he will, to be honest, but we'll have to see. You never know. Benedick's original bio says that Benedict is the gentle half of Antonio twins, sensitive and kind. He may someday be essential to solving the question of his mother's death. And I have not written him a new one yet because it's almost like his original still kind of applies to him. It's very much kind of questioning where his adulthood will go, and that is the stage we're still at with him. Obviously, there's other information to put in there, but in terms of like a direction to where he's going, there's not that much more to say. So yeah, I've left that for now. So yep, that's where Benedick Monty is. So here is Bottom Summerdream. She is currently a pleasure sim with a secondary of popularity. She's towards the end of her first semester in senior year. So she's about 3 or 4 days from leaving university. She's a drama major with a 2.3 GPA, kind of scraping through, to be honest. So hopefully, yeah, she can make that final semester. She has also been on academic probation, like Hal has. So yeah, them two are really not very committed to this process and are just here to have a good time. Her current lifetime one is to become a world-class ballet dancer, top of the dance career. And I think I can really see her striving for that. Just depends if she has the dedication to or not. She is active and otherwise very balanced. She grew as a responsible sim, and I think at the time I decided that was +2 neat points. I think that's since changed to 1 neat and 1 serious. But yeah, at least now I have a system actually written down. But yeah, so she used to be really sloppy, but she grew out of that, which is good. Her traits are athletic, a light sleeper, a party animal, eco-friendly, and a virtuoso and brave. Her hobby is music and dance, dancing, really, not instruments or anything like that, just dancing. Although it has been obviously making her want to interact with musical instruments, and thank God, because that has been a way to achieve some creativity skills that she has needed for her course. She's interested in crime, food, work, surprisingly, money, entertainment, environment, culture, fashion, travel, and sci-fi. Bottom had a good childhood and she fell in love with Hal, and as a teenager she had a teenage job. I think that was kind of the expectation in the Summerdream family, but I'm pretty sure she wanted to. She started going to study with Hal and dated him and has dated him ever since. Had their first woohoo in college. Yes, she's actually been on academic probation twice, so that's a hefty 4 days being added onto her life when she graduates. If she graduates, honestly, bottom, pull yourself together. She is not very pleased that her dad got abducted by aliens at all. Let's have a look at her relationships. 2 Bolt, going steady, good relationship with Hal, very good friends with Desdemona Capp, Benedick Monty, Beatrice Monty, Miranda Capp, Romeo Monty, and 3 Bolts with Romeo Monty. Book Summerdream, her mom and dad, Titania and Oberon, and their cat, Princess, Emia, Capp, and Mercutio Monty, and she's really getting there with her brother, Alex. They should become friends soon. And she's getting to know her professor pretty well, wants to become friends with her, and hopefully that is a good way that she can gain some credit without being very studious. So Bottom's bio was also one that I didn't save when I entered it into here, but I do have it written down. Her original one says that Bottom sometimes gets herself into trouble attempting to get attention from her parents and big brother. Will she grow up to be a more respectful and responsible sim? And her new bio is Bottom is still quite immature. She lives to please herself, but that hasn't gotten in the way of her developing some great friendships. She's scraping by in university so far and hopes to pursue her passion of dancing and live a fun-filled life. So let's have a quick tour of the dorm. It's quite grand, really, but I figured that would suit the fairly prestigious families in Veronaville. They all have, come from backgrounds of wealth, and I think that's why they would all share a dorm together. That's why Tybalt and Mercutio ended up in the same dorm, because it's a prestigious one, and their families would have nothing less for them. So they've got a nice living area here, although there is something wrong with these sofas because they sit like into each other, on top of each other. I have no idea why. If anyone has experienced that before, do let me know if you know why or what can fix it. It's really, really odd. I don't think I have a picture of it to show though. A nice kitchen dining area here. They actually do not have the cafeteria, so they don't get a cook. There's always been plenty of Sims living here that do enjoy cooking, so they have always catered for themselves and had plenty of room to dine together and host parties. They have a library here with some scale objects and bookcases and plenty of computers to really knuckle down and get some stuff done. They have this is a long hallway here, but at the end here they have a little lounge area where they can play pool and piano, a big communal bathroom, but at least they do have private showers, as they all have doors to them. And here are their rooms. This was Tybalt's old room. As you can see, his picture's still here. And this is Hal and Bottom's room that they share. And here is Desdemona and Benedick's room that they share. And upstairs there are more bedrooms here. This is Hermia and Puck's old room. And this is Ariel's room. This is Beatrice's old room. Ariel's on her own because she's a singleton and isn't expecting any kind of lover to join her here. But Thomas is currently in a double room to himself because Luciana will eventually join him in this room. And there's a spare double room here which Alex and Valeria will move into. At one point I had 13 Sims in this dorm at the most. I think Ariel moved in just before Tybalt graduated. So there was there was a lot of Sims here, but I've always found that really fun. It's always been one of my favourite things to do, playing through university and way too many Sims to handle and getting them all through. And this landing is just kind of a communal area with all kinds of fun things to do, to chill out and hang out. And here we have a little gym, and here we have a little hobby room. This used to be a toy making bench, but we've swapped it out to a flower making table for Ariel to enjoy, so she can kind of pursue that and see what she thinks of it. I might have Desdemona see what she thinks of the robot making station, because she likes science but isn't a telescope enthusiast just yet, and I'm pretty sure I have a mod that makes robots a science hobby. Oh, and by the way, it's also a mod that makes a flower table a nature hobby instead of an arts and crafts hobby, to give more variation there. So that's something that they could do. And there's another bathroom here, very similar to downstairs, except there's no washing machine, so there's not it's not too crazy. They do tend to be quite fond of these items. And then upstairs, we have a roof that they can hang out on, and we also have a little band room where they can come and jam out, and this has been an absolute hit. People have always enjoyed using this, and this is a popular casual woohoo spot up here. So yeah, it really is quite luxurious. They've got quite a lot of amenities here. As you can see, they've got Easter eggs scattered around. Some of them didn't eat their Easter eggs yesterday, I suppose. So yeah, this is where all the Veronaville kids come to stay. Eventually, maybe when the Academie Le Tour Premades start having kids, they might not be so fortunate to attend this dorm. So yeah, we'll have to see about that. So now I'm going to be going over the Academie Le Tour Premades that have since graduated and moved into the main hood. So quite a few of them live in the same apartment complex as Hal Capp and his husband Victor. We have the Furley household with Delilah O'Feefe and Phineaus Furley. We have the Sharpe household with Edwin Sharpe and Marla Biggs, and the Freshe Lee household with Emily Lee and Tom Freshe. Let's start with the Furley household. So things are starting a little bit differently here in this household because they've actually just got back from their honeymoon in Three Lakes. They are now married and have had a wonderful time. So I didn't need to force them out of bed to make them presentable. They've come home and as you can see, they are extremely poor, are really spent up on holiday. I think I made them take a loan out of about 2,000 to go on holiday, but it just wasn't enough. So they're going to need to loan a little bit more, but their computer broke at the same time, so the landlord here has come over to fix it. So let's take a look at Delilah. Delilah is still a fortune sim, and she is a secondary family. I am honestly not sure whether I have recalculated these guys' aspirations since making my spreadsheet. So that's probably something I will double check for next round. But it is using pretty well, so I don't have a problem with it. Oh my god, and I've actually just remembered that they had to hire a nanny for their dog to go on holiday, and they could not pay the nanny, so that is why they are missing a chair from here and are using it upstairs because the nanny took some things in payment. So she actually took the computer chair that was here, the bat box, there was a vase, like was worth 1 simoleon, so I don't know why she bothered with that. And there was also like a decorative laundry basket in here that she took as well. So yeah, they're just borrowing his chair from downstairs to access the computer until they can get a loan. So yeah, it was quite funny, to be honest. So anyway, back to Delilah. Her current lifetime wish is to become a visionary. She did very well in university in the art major. She is currently unemployed. She did have a job in the artist career, but she got fired. So she's just kind of recovering from that, got some joy in her wonderful marriage and holiday, and hopefully she'll go down that route again, because honestly I haven't really clicked with the Academie Le Tour Premades as much as the original Hood, so I'm not really wanting to do that much with them, you know, like keep them at home too long or have their own businesses at the moment. I might start to warm up for them some more, especially because just as I loaded in, they had decided that they want to have a baby, which is really, really nice. So yeah, hopefully that happens for them soon. I'm actually like using a different save to record this video, so hopefully when I actually get to their round in my current save, they still have these ones or get them again. So Delilah is shy and otherwise balanced. Her traits are loner, technophobe, bookworm, brooding, shy and artistic, and a supernatural skeptic. Her hobby is art, particularly painting, as you've probably guessed already. And she is interested in school, money, entertainment, culture, fashion, and travel, and hates politics, crime, paranormal, weather, toys, and sci-fi. So because of a super low interest in paranormal and sci-fi, that's what's made her a supernatural skeptic. So let's just go back and have a look at her memories. She seems to have become enemies with Kent's roommate Crystal Anderson. Honestly, you probably know what it's like with the Parton complex. All of the neighbours just stand outside the whole day long, talking, and in my case, in this box, seems to be just squabbling, not getting along at all. I've had to like break up like loads of fights because they've just absolutely not got on whatsoever. So I think she's, you know, had a pretty good boost since having a lovely vacation. She did have a bad graduation party, but otherwise her college experience was very good. She didn't go down the route with Edwin. I can't remember who. I think it was Edwin starts with a crush on her. But yeah, I think it was like his chemistry wasn't that strong. For whatever reason, she just gravitated towards Phineaus a lot faster towards Edwin. I really thought she would end up with Edwin, but I really didn't force my hand at all. She kind of told me what she wanted, and Edwin developed something with Marla. So yeah, it was just Phineaus that she fell for and has been with. So let's have a look at relationships then. She does actually have 3 bolts with both Phineaus and Edwin, but that could have changed, you know, since the start of their university experience. I'm honestly not sure what happened there. All I know, it was all very autonomous, and they kind of made their own matches. She is very close with her dog Vinny, and honestly, she's like, see what I mean? She's quite a loner, like she doesn't have any friends really. She has her husband Phineaus, her dog, and Edwin, who used to have a crush on her. But she's getting there with Tom Freshe, and honestly, she just does not get on with anyone else. I might have to like reset this relationship because I'm sure like there was no need for it. Yeah, I think I've had to reset a relationship with someone else. She's I don't know, something that makes her quite difficult to get along with, I think. I'm not sure what it is. I have not rewrote their bios yet. I just didn't have the time or the interest really. So But let's have a look what their original bios was, and I can tell you what sort of changed from then. So her bio is that Delilah is aloof and sticks to her own kind. She prefers painting to people and loves the colour yellow. Yep, that pretty much still sums her up, to be honest. Yep, she hasn't really changed at all. She was the oldest pre-made, I believe, so she was the first to graduate, so she got this apartment before Phineaus joined her, so it was very much decorated to her taste in lots of yellow. She has taken up painting and she really hasn't made many friends. So that's Delilah, and let's take a look at her new husband, Phineaus. He's just cooking or cleaning up some bowls at the moment, so let's let him do that. He is still a family sim with a secondary of knowledge. Look at little Finny here as well in the background, how cute. And I've actually need to let you know that I have realised that my pets have not been aging for some time. So yeah, basically the whole time they've had this dog, he hasn't aged, so he should probably be about 10 days old, because that's how old Delilah is into adulthood. Although I don't think she did get him on her first day of adulthood. Oh, she might have. Yeah, I think she might have actually, yeah, so I might have to manually age him up another just 10 days. Who wants pets to die anyway, right? But yeah, that was because my aging mod makes Sims age at midnight instead of 6 p.m. And then I also got a mod that makes pets age at midnight, like just on its own, that's all it does. And on that same page, the mods are by Martico. She has one for pets and one for Sims on the same page, and you can download both. I didn't need the Sims one because I already have that feature as part of my aging mod. So I just grabbed the pets one. But then in the comments, you'll see a post from Nopkey, who's a very, very good modder, has made lots of amazing things. And they say that if you use both of those mods, that the pets will not age. So I recently found that as I was kind of trying to diagnose why my pets weren't aging when I finally realised that they weren't. And yeah, it's because if you have any mods that make Sims and pets age at the same hour, the pets won't age, and that's why Nopkey made a mod called Sims Age with Pets that does that properly and handles that properly. So now I've gotten rid of that standalone pet time aging mod and installed Nopkey Sims Age with Pets mod. So now that will be fixed, but yeah, I think I will have to kind of manually age some of the pets up, unfortunately. So anyway, back to Phineaus. Have you finished yet, love? Yep, let's take a look at you, please. So this is Phineaus Furley. His current lifetime one is to graduate 3 children from college, and he's currently a city council member at level 5. So he's doing pretty well. I believe he did graduate from political science and did okay. Obviously, he has no star there, so nothing amazing, but he did alright. He is neat, shy, active, and serious. His traits are disciplined, eco-friendly, loves the outdoors, an animal lover, no sense of humour, and a loner, and loves the cold. His hobby is nature, in particular bird watching, but he does enjoy going for hikes as well. And as you can see, he wants to go for one now. He is interested in politics, school, health, environment, culture, and animals. He actually has really low interest in weather, so I'm not sure why I gave him that loves the cold trait. I guess so he wouldn't mind standing outside in the cold to birdwatch. He hates food, sports, paranormal, weather, toys, and fashion. So as you can see, the politics career inspired him through his degree and his job. He was pretty studious and wants his future kids to do well, and enjoys environment and animals, making him a nature sim, and close to his, well, should bond with his dog Vinny very nicely. Let's have a look at his relationships. I think this fire, like I said, there was one just outside caused by lightning. He saw the ghost of Academie Capp on his wedding day. It must have gotten late at the church, and since they're all buried there, I guess Anthony came out to say hello. But yeah, Phineas has had a very good life, and again has only really been with Delilah. He has some memories of random dormies dying that couldn't look after themselves. Yeah, pretty straightforward. He has a great relationship with Delilah and also a very good relationship and very high chemistry with Marla. And that's why, like, it could have really gone either way. Like, whether Delilah ended up with Phineas or Edwin, and if Phineas ended up with Delilah or Marla, it really, like, it's so, like, interchangeable. I bet, like, every time you play, you could easily get a different result each time with that group. He's getting on really well with their roommate, and he also doesn't have any other friends. No, he's good friends with Mitch Indie. In fact, I think Delilah's good friends with Mitch Indie. Yeah, she is. Oh, he's just all the way back here. Yeah. Oh my god. Right, I need to fix that in SimPE. I sometimes get bugs where random relationships get set. It's happened between all kinds of different sims and townies in some cases. Have you guys ever had that? Apparently it's quite a common problem where the game just like randomly ticks these relationship flag boxes, even if the sims haven't met before. Apparently it's not corruption, it's just one of those bugs that happen. But yeah, I've had some like really crazy things happen because of these like non-existent relationships that come into existence. So yeah, I'm gonna have to fix that. I need to make a note right now, actually. So yeah, I wish there was like a way to stop that happening, or a tool that would easily like check for all the relationship flags and give you a report of them. Because obviously there's so many relationships to go through in SimPE, it's impossible to keep on top of it. I wonder if it actually has anything to do with HUD Checker. That's an interesting thought. Maybe like relationship fixes actually like result in weird things. I don't know. Anyway, Phineas's bio has always been that Phineas or Finn Furley is a loner. Nobody seems to want him around or cares about what he has to say, but he's almost too busy trying to change the world to worry about it. Again, like Delilah, that very much suits him. He hasn't made many friendships at all, and he should really have the loner trait, shouldn't he? Might give him the loner trait instead of the loves the cold. But yeah, he is still trying to change the world. Obviously very passionate about politics, so I wonder if he'll be competing with Tybalt for mayor, and perhaps he'll eventually be like a joint mayor or something. Their roommate is Neil Chalmers, one of the social group NPCs. Don't really care about him. Won't be doing anything with him. Hopefully these guys will eventually save up to get a house. And this is little doggy Vinny. So yeah, that's where Delilah and Phineas are. As you can see, there's lots and lots of yellow in this house. Phineas has got a little place where he also tends to some plants with his nature hobby. They have a nice little balcony out here, this place, and they have a laundry room. So this one is bigger than Kent's. As you can see, this room is bigger. They have a balcony and a laundry nook here. So yeah, this is a little bit more expensive and has a bit more room. So here we are with Edwin Sharpe and Marla Biggs in their green themed apartment. That's kind of Edwin's taste, but actually that was a coincidence. I think I just kind of styled this apartment like that anyway, and they just haven't changed the furnishings like Delilah did to put more of a personal stamp on hers. And yeah, these guys have kind of progressed probably more than they should have. I wonder if it's affected their ages. It doesn't look like it has. But yeah, because this lot's been active every time I load up Ken and play through his round. Super annoying. But anyway, let's take a look at Edwin here. Edwin is still a knowledge sim and his secondary is fortune. I believe I did recalculate these guys' aspirations and actually changed Marla's. His current letter one is to become top of the gamer career, and he's in the career at level 8, so he's actually super close to achieving that, which is pretty impressive since he's quite a recent graduate. Edwin is neat, shy, serious, and nice. His traits are computer whiz, hates the outdoors, a night owl, unlucky, over-emotional, socially awkward, and never nude. His hobby, as you can probably guess, is gaming. But he has quite a lot in film and literature and probably has decayed in gaming because basically the whole time this lot is active during Kent's rounds, they just like binge watch films all day long. Actually, whoever gets this seat, because like I showed, this sofa disappears because it's placed with move objects on. So yeah, it's a real nightmare, to be honest. It's really kind of scrambled these guys up, and I probably would have tried harder to fix it if they was Veronaville Premades, but as I said, I'm not like that bothered what happens to these guys, to be fair. He's interested in politics, crime, work, school, entertainment, health, paranormal, and he hates food, sports, money, toys, environment, fashion, and animals. Which actually makes sense why I think early on when they were struggling for money, he actually rolled the want to get rid of the dog, which like I had never seen that want before. It really shocked me and kind of hurt me, to be fair. Like obviously we didn't do that. But yeah, what a dick. His memories are pretty standard. He did work during his college years at times, but had to stop when they were clashing with his classes too much because he did want to do well and did do very well. He graduated in maths. Yeah, maths. So yeah, pretty standard stuff here. Let's look at his relationships. He is engaged to Marla. Their relationship is going great, and he has a great friendship with Delilah Furley. No longer has a crush on her, but the chemistry really is still there. He's friends with their roommate, Michelle, and doesn't really have many other friends, at least not in this apartment block. He's close with his older sister, Roxie, who he lived with, and that is it. He used to really not get on well with Jonah, and now they're not close, but they don't have a bad relationship either. He really doesn't get on with their landlord, so that's not very good. Edwin's bio says Edwin hates living with his sister and her boyfriend, but can't find anyone else to move in with. Life would probably be better back in the dorms. That definitely needs updating. Definitely. So Edwin actually did get through all of university living with Edwin and her boyfriend Jonah. Boyfriend's not really the term, actually, just kind of lover. I did really strongly think of moving him in to the dorms with Marla and Phineaus and Emily and Tom and Ellen. All of the Bin families got moved into a dorm together, whereas the ones in houses stayed in houses. But they just kind of got through, you know. He had his own space. There weren't any arguments or anything, and eventually, actually, really like towards the end of Roxie and Jonah's education, they are older than him. Marla actually moved in with them, which was interesting. So let's take a look at Marla now. She is really cute. She might be my favourite Academie Le Tour sim, actually. She's a real sweetheart. Like Phineaus and Delilah, she has also surprised me with have the baby once, so hopefully that remains in her next round in my proper save. Marla is a family sim, and I'm pretty sure that's different to what she started with. Yeah, I did change her aspiration. Think she was a knowledge sim to start with, and now she is a secondary knowledge. But yeah, she has like really strong family vibes. Her current lifetime wish is to become an archaeological guru, and she is in the natural science career, which is what that is the top of, and she's at level 5, so you know she's getting there, and she'll hopefully be driven by her knowledge secondary to get the skills she needs. She is shy, lazy, and nice. Her traits are eco-friendly, animal lover, loves the outdoors, loves the heat, supernatural skeptic, and a hopeless romantic. You might have noticed these like clutter items in some inventories, and that basically unlocks the interactions. So I have a mod called Less Apparition, and it means unless the Sims have certain items in their inventory, they won't be able to perform certain actions like bird watching, bug catching, playing catch, kicky bag, jump rope, that kind of thing. And it makes for some really great gifting, makes Sims more unique and have certain actions that they do that not everyone just kind of picks up and does autonomously. So that's super cool. And she has these because, like Phineas, her hobby is also nature, but she currently has no enthusiasm in it, which is unfortunate. Her sub hobby was bugs, but she kind of lost that a lot over winter because I have a mod that makes you not able to hunt bugs during the winter. So hopefully she can pick that up again. And the stupidly high film and literature is, like I said, happened whilst this lot has been loaded with Ken, and they have been binge watching films like no tomorrow. Her interests are politics, food, sports, school, entertainment, environment, travel, and animals. And she hates crime, health, paranormal, toys, and fashion. Her most recent memory is that she's had an accident, and I believe that's because she got struck by lightning whilst she was hanging around outside in the hot tub in a thunderstorm. So stupid, I guess. I really hate the behaviour of apartment neighbours. It really bothers me. And I find like them to be the most buggy lots as well. But other than that, pretty standard stuff. As you can see, she is engaged to Edwin and wants to get married. I'm not sure if I'm going to wait until Edwin also has the want to get married. Not decided on that. What do you guys do? What do you guys suggest? I think like hopefully they might go on a date or something that would make that want roll for him. But otherwise I don't want to be holding off too long. I think with the baby, I think that's like very much up to her. So I wouldn't be opposed to making them have a baby, because she wants to, and as long as he doesn't fear it. But I'm not sure about marriage. I don't know whether it should be like them both being on the same page first, but they do certainly have enough money to have a nice wedding and a holiday if they so choose to. She's very close with their little doggy Rex, who Edwin has not yet bonded with, but at least no longer wants to get rid of. Also for him, I'm going to need to age him up a bit to probably about 9 days old, something like that. 9 days into adulthood, I mean. She's friends with Emily Lee, Phineaus Furley, really close with Tom Freshe. I'm sure that will develop into a friendship really soon. Their roommate, and she's been alright with all of her apartment neighbours apart from Delilah, which is interesting. Obviously, Edwin and Delilah have a really good relationship, but Marla and Delilah do not at all. And she's also really close with Romeo Monty for some reason. Marla's bio says Marla may have some big glasses, but they're a reflection of her big heart. She is searching for her identity in a new place. She really does have a big heart, that's very true. Has she found her identity? I think so. I think she knows who she is and what she wants. She's very dedicated to her interests and, nature and learning and Edwin and a family. She has some friends. I think she's pretty grounded now. This is a roommate, Michelle, a social group townie. I think she's been causing some problems that I've been having to break her up from. Let's have a look. I think I've had to cheat loads of relationships to be neutral, otherwise she was scrapping with Delilah, I think it was, or Emily. I don't remember. I just couldn't stand it anymore and had to cheat some relationships up. And yeah, here's the little Rex who hasn't aged a day and certainly needs to. So that's where Edwin and Marla is. Hopefully they'll be getting married this round and having a baby. That would be great. Be like the first. Yes, it would be potentially be the first baby of the next generation, which is super exciting. But what with so many of the other Sims wanting to get married as well, like I'm sure there'll be some other pregnancies at least as well. But I don't know if Edwin will want to be married, and maybe for that reason they won't get married just yet. We'll have to see. So now we're here in the end apartment block, which is the same layout as Kent. I didn't mention that obviously Edwin and Marla's is the biggest, as they have a whole other room. They have 2 spare rooms here, so they could keep a room and have a child, or even 2 children living here very comfortably while keeping their office. So yeah, they have the most sizable apartment, whereas this one's very small, like Kent's is. Anyway, this is a companionship. This is not a relationship. During university, Tom was seeing Ellen Frost, and Ellen was very much into him. We'll probably get more into it when we cover Ellen next. But yeah, she was dedicated to him, but he is a secondary romance, so he was in no interest in commitment and rejected her for a proposal. And then she eventually did catch him cheating. I can't remember who with. I think maybe Roxie. It's always Roxie in the middle of everything in this neighborhood, I swear. It's all the problems because of her. But yeah, so just as they were about to move in together, that happened. So he basically had nowhere to live, and I thought about making a whole other apartment block on the other side of town for him to move into, but then I was like, hang on, why? He actually starts the game with Emily in a household as friends in the sim bin. They maintained a friendship, so I figured she'd happily let Amy live here as a roommate. This room was intended for him, but they are very happy to sleep together because they have a sexual relationship, but kind of no strings attached. They are both secondary romance sims and both see other people, so are just kind of in an open relationship or open companionship. They are in love, but there's no jealousy between them, which is nice. Although I did have to reset that at one point, I think, because in case you didn't know, when you set a sim's jealousy, unless you make this setting static, it might just change by itself. So because she's actually primary knowledge, at some point this got changed to in love, and then whilst all the neighbours were hanging about outside of the apartment like they do, Tom started something with Michelle, and then Emily got very jealous. So I kind of had to manually undo all that because that wasn't supposed to happen like that. And I suppose I could have read it that actually Emily had decided to commit to Tom, but I guess I didn't really think about it at the time, and I don't think I've rolled these guys' aspirations, so if one of them could please not be romance sims anymore, that would be great, because I hate playing with romance sims. I find it so boring. Like this, I'll make out with 10 sims, woohoo with 10 sims, go on a date. Like, so every day it's going on a date with someone new, making out with someone new, woohooing with him, maybe falling in love with him if they get there, but otherwise it's just on to the next, and it's just so rinse and repeat, repetitive, boring. Definitely my least favourite aspiration to play with. So I guess with that overview, backstory out the way, let's focus on the individual sims. So let's take a look at Cutie Pie Emily here. So she's still a knowledge, and like I said, a secondary romance, and her current lifetime wish is to become an education minister and top of the education career, and she is currently a high school principal at level 7. She is playful and otherwise balanced. Her traits are a good sense of humour, natural cook, light sleeper, workaholic, perceptive, and has commitment issues. Look at this ridiculous font she must have got as a date gift. God, I modded that out. I need to get rid of it but not give her the money for it. Her hobby is games, particularly mahjong. How do you say that? I don't know how to pronounce that. So there used to be a board in her dorm. It's a lot less accessible to her now, but she does have this pass, so she can go and play mahjong at the secret games lot, which is cool. But she does frequently roll the one to play computer games as well, which is fine, so she does that as well. She's interested in food, school, so that's why the education career is a perfect fit for her. Top interest in school, loves it. Money, entertainment, health, and travel, and hates sports, toys, environment, and sci-fi. She did really well in university in her history major, and I made my own mod that changes what careers benefit from what majors, and in that I have made it work like the UK system, which is to be a teacher you just need a degree in anything, so any degree gives a boost to the education career. She has got some interesting memories. She's had 2 accidents recently. Oh, honestly, that probably happened like not playing with her. She obviously needs to control herself a little bit, Mum. She's got caught cheating once by one of the professors she was seeing at university. Had lots of woohoos. I only has 2 loves at once because I think she gets to then make out and woohoo a lot quicker than they need to fall in love. Yeah, she was actually like seeing Chaz for a bit early on when they were in the dorm together, but before she was like showing much interest in like the romance side too much. Well, yeah, she had a bit. She had been sleeping around a little bit. Before I set her jealousy to be higher than in love, she did get jealous of Chaz sleeping around, so that relationship actually ended. Which obviously the way she has changed, now it probably shouldn't have. Same with Jonah. She had a fling with Jonah, but because she fell in love with him and he's also a romance sim, she got very hurt by him. And honestly, probably both of these relationships should actually be in existence today. But or maybe that was what changed her. That's what broke her. Having her heart broken twice. Granted, she was sleeping around herself. Perhaps she was just a bit hypocritical, but actually was avoiding getting hurt. She did get hurt, and now she's just kind of changed her outlook on jealousy. Just wants to see other people, and doesn't get jealous as easy anymore. Because she's not bothered. She doesn't want a committed relationship anymore. So let's look at her relationships. She gets on really well with Tom, no strings attached, really good friends with Marla, best friends with Ellen Frost, and these are mostly her lovers. So we've got Destry Kratz, Dormy, Shannon Adorme. Caden was randomly generated social group townie before I had a mod to stop them. I think it seems to be really quite difficult to get social group townies to start regenerating, which is super annoying. A professor, another dormy. Never did anything with Max Flex, so that is just a friendship building. Same with Romeo. Did have something with Jonah, but actually got her heart broken. And that's it, really. Yeah, she's got a really bad relationship with Chaz, but hopefully they can build it back up because she shouldn't really be bothered about what happened in the past anymore. And obviously this is the guy that caught her cheating, but she probably wouldn't have wanted to go back to him anyway. So she has currently had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 woohoos so far, so she's not far off that 10 mark at all. Her bio says, Emily's excited about starting school and very interested in learning the history behind the academy. Yeah, that definitely needs to change. She did do well in school in her history major, but now she's settled into Veronaville. And honestly, the romance side of her is very like equal to her knowledge side at the moment. So that kind of sucks for me. Moving on to Tom Freshe. He's still a fortune sim and a secondary romance. Need to recalculate him. His lifetime one is to earn 100,000. He's currently level 7 in their business career as a vice president. He is sloppy and playful. His traits are commitment issues, charismatic, good sense of humour, irresistible. I'll probably take that one out because it might be stacking with the romance thing, which will be super annoying. He probably has too many 3 bolts. And eco-friendly. His hobby is arts and crafts. It's supposed to be photography. I did put a photo thing out here, but I don't know. It's kind of like finicky to work with because it's like quite short interactions and stuff, so it's a bit annoying. But he does dabble on the easel as well, but his enthusiasm really low at the moment. He's interested in politics, school, money, entertainment, environment, culture, fashion and travel, and hates crime, sports, work, health, toys, and sci-fi. So honestly, I think these two have a lot of potential to change when I recalculate their aspirations, which is really interesting. His memory is full of romance. He had a fling with Michelle, next door's roommate, but she obviously was not open to the open relationship kind of thing, so wasn't happy about that at all. Yeah, and this is where it all went wrong with Ellen. So yeah, they were actually going steady, but yeah, she was having none of that. They got rid of their roommate, Caden Thomas, a randomly generated social group townmate, when he joined, obviously to fill this room up. But honestly, they could get another roommate because this room is just sitting spare now. And obviously, I don't think there'll be any plans to have children, but I'm really hoping they do have an accidental baby. That would be perfect. Really hoping for that. So they might only have 4,000 in their funds, but they are keeping their finances separate because they're not a couple, they're not a family. So they have been putting their money in their bank accounts, and they both have over 15 grand each. So they both nearly have enough to move into their own houses separately, but then they don't really have a need to do that. So they're just here, vibing, saving up. So they're doing really well with this arrangement, to be fair. Surprisingly, going steady with Ellen was a good memory for him, but he really enjoyed having an affair. I do think it was Roxie that he cheated on her with. Yeah, bad man. Or Ellen. He, like I said, doing great with Emily. Getting there with Delilah, which is nice. Not many other people do. He's still close with Michelle, but I think she has some negative feelings towards him. Maybe they're patching it up a little bit. Getting there with Marla too. This was one of his flings. Actually, she was a secret society member. I never got any of them into the secret society, never really pushed for that. Roxie gets on good with the landlord, which is nice. A professor. Lots of relationships have declined, but he's definitely had several woohoos. Let's have a look. His first woohoo was actually with Roxie. Then Ellen, so 2. Holly, 3. Michelle, 4. Emily, 5. Right, so he's only on 5. So yeah, he's further away from that 10 milestone than Emily is. Tom's bio says that Tom is looking to make big bucks as fast as he can and figures going to college will put him ahead of the game. And yep, that seems to have worked out for him. He didn't do marvellously well, but he is already at level 7 of his career and has a hefty bank account. So yeah, I don't see Tom as a very nice person at all. He's, not grouchy or anything, but he's just happy to play women and is just very driven by like greed and money and nothing really productive. So yeah, that is Emily and Tom. This is a cheaper apartment as well. The furnishings in it are a little bit cheaper. This is the kind of colour scheme I made the apartment with, and they just haven't decided to add any of their own colours apart from the bedding and this little seat in the study. It's all still very bare. None of them have really put like much attention to detail in their apartments yet. We're now going to nip to the other side of town briefly to see Ellen Frost. She has a house all to herself and used to be Antonio Monty's neighbour before he moved into his much bigger house. So here we are in Ellen's very cute little villa. This is part of a set I downloaded that are specifically for like Veronaville sort of homes. So there's a couple on the street, a bit similar but with some nice different designs, and I've just put my own personal touch on it. It's pretty basic, there's not much outside space, but it's a great little starter home. Of course, her plans was to share this with Tom to start a life together here, and not lose any money down the drain to renting. She was able to afford this and didn't have to rent it because she wrote several novels during her time at university and did well in university. Not amazingly, obviously there's no star here, but still well enough to get good scholarships and get good, royalties from novel writing. So she had quite a little nest egg saved up after university and was able to afford this house. I honestly don't know where I got the blue from. Ellen starts wearing like a white suit, so I went with white. and picked like the white jeans and like this top with a white cardigan, and then because that white cardigan outfit happened to have a blue top, I just ran with it, and now apparently she likes blue. So yeah, very blue apartment, but I love it. I'm really pleased with this house. I think it's really pretty and sweet and rustic. So let's meet Ellen. She's still a fortune sim, and her secondary is popularity. I also need to recalculate her, I believe. Let's address her wants immediately, because as you can see, she wants to get married to someone. This is Max Flexor, another Academie Le Tour Premade who actually starts in a house. So yeah, she has moved on from Tom now and has gotten herself engaged. I think they're engaged. Yeah, they're engaged, but I don't think I even took a screenshot of their engagement. It was very nice. I think it was outside of either the Monty restaurant or the coffee shop. But yeah, as you can probably tell, like I'm not as close to these Sims, so just like don't take as many screenshots and things like that. But I do like Helen. She's interesting. So let's backtrack a little bit. Her current lifetime want is to earn 100,000, and she is unemployed. But really, I think I need to put her in the my custom freelance career that has no work days, no pay, like Hermia and Beatrice are in, because she does write a lot and gets plenty of money from that. I am actually planning on setting something up where she sells her novels to Hermia for her to sell in the bookstore. I've been working on them building a relationship, which has worked. But yeah, definitely the plan is to sell Ellen's books in Hermia's bookstore. Sell copies of it, of course, they like sell it, get royalties from it, but then they could make some extra cash and distribute it to Veronaville if it's sold there as well. So Ellen is outgoing, active, serious, and grouchy. Her traits are athletic, bookworm, brooding, disciplined, and loner. And as you can see, she has 7 novels she's already written and definitely need to be sold onto Hermia. And of course, her hobbies, film and literature. She has maximum enthusiasm, really enjoys that. Her interests are sports, culture, and travel. Is that it? Damn, girl, what? She doesn't have many interests. That's what makes it kind of difficult to get along with, maybe. She hates politics, health, and animals. So I guess that's not many hates either. So a lot of her interests are just kind of in the middle there. Let's have a look at her memories. Idiot, Dormy's dying, did well in university, and she worked for a little bit because she wanted some money, but like Tom had to quit when it was clashing too much with classes. She actually had 2 jobs. She started in the mail career and then went to business reviewer, I think, just normal service jobs, nothing fancy. She sold her first great novel, and she initially got rejected from going steady with Tom. Then he eventually said yes, but then she tried to propose and he said no. She should have really seen the warning signs. So then eventually she saw what he was really about and he broke her heart. Then she moved in here by herself and broke things off with Tom. She then got wooed by Jonah Powers, another Academie Le Tour Premade who is a romance sim. And honestly, I was really hoping she might have had an accidental baby with him. But she actually saw... Why was that an affair with Jonah? If she'd broken up with Tom and gone, and she got a weird flag that I don't know about. Or is the game just done? Oh, I don't know. Who was the other love? She was already out of love with Tom at that point. Oh god, I think I need to check Ellen's relationship since MP as well. I think I already did. I think it was Marla. Yes, I'm pretty sure that was before I noticed it. Yeah, yeah. I think I've already fixed it. It was a flag with Marla, so I should probably edit her memories of this, actually. So yeah, anyway, she saw Jonah cheating, being with other people, so fell out of love with him, called that off. And then eventually moved on to Max, which was a really nice relationship. I kind of made them meet because I thought, oh, that would be nice, and just saw how they got along, didn't pursue a relationship or anything, just saw like, do they have any chemistry, did they get along? And they did, and then they started, getting wants for each other and pursuing things through ACR. They went steady, and then last round, they got engaged, which was really cute. Yeah, so Ellen's actually had 3 woohoos now, but that that wasn't her intention. She just got unlucky in love. Definitely, it's been a rocky ride for her to find a partner, but hopefully her and Max work out nicely. So looking at her relationship, good two bolt relationship with Max, best friends with Emily, great friends with Chaz, pretty close with Marla, Hermia, and Tybalt. She's since kind of gotten over the thing with Jonah and Tom Freshe. She was really mad at them. I think I discovered actually through T-Addict that maybe actually when a sim is furious with them, the relationship boost they get after that furious period has passed is too much. So maybe that's what's happened there. But actually, she's happy now, so I don't actually see a reason why she wouldn't let bygones be bygones. She did actually carry quite a lot of resentment for Tom for quite some time. So I do think it's been enough time for the wounds to heal. She's not mad at anyone either. Like, Roxie might have actually been the person that both of these guys flirted with in front of her. Yep, I think she was. I literally think it was Roxie both times. God damn it, Roxie. Ellen's bio is Ellen doesn't understand why people need to party all the time. She just wants to graduate and get out of this crazy college life. I think that was actually my bio from a couple of years ago, excuse me. This was literally me in college, like, I guess Ellen is my spirit sim. So yeah, obviously that's very relevant to college, so this needs updating. She's a popularity sim, so she's actually kind of changed her mind on that. She just kind of, which I guess she likes like individual friends rather than like gatherings of friends. And she's very much focused on writing and is about to start a life with Max. I think next round Max will be moving into here with her, so we'll get them married in her round because I think Max also wants to marry Ellen as well. So we'll have a look right now, basically, because we're done here. Our last few households live right at the edge of town here at this far end. So we are going to see this household now, and then the others live in the flop house right at the end. So this is the Indie Jayapalan household, and it's Max and Mitch still living together as friends along with Mitch's partner Drake. We're here now with the Indie Jayapalan household, and as you can see, this house is quite a mess. All of these guys are slobs, so there's very little care taken and pride taken. I think they do have a maid, but obviously they don't have a gardener just yet. That's a bit too much of a luxury. But they do also have some pretty cool stuff going on outside, so we'll take a look at what's for who and things like that in a moment. So this is the house. It's kind of like the same kind of schemes that were in that like twin house lot they had at university. A couple of them like blue, Max and Drake like blue, so kept very much with a cheap blue theme. This is the same layout as Hermia and Puck's house, which was Reagan's old house, and I think there's actually like a couple of houses with this design in the neighborhood, and it's very affordable, so I'm sure there'll be other Sims living in this kind of design house soon as well. So upstairs we have Mitch and Drake in the master bedroom, and Max is in the spare room here, so they can save up. But they, he's done that a bit. He's found someone and really has a way to move out now. So I don't think he'll be actually playing another round in this house. Because Ellen will be played first, and at that point he'll be moving in with Ellen because he does want to marry her. But actually, before I got him up, he did have the want to have 3 first dates, which has to re-roll because he didn't lock in. So maybe he does, maybe he's not like fully sure, but I think he's a nice enough guy that he will settle down. So let's take a closer look at Max. He is now a pleasure sim. I believe I have changed these guys' aspirations around. I am actually looking in my spreadsheet and I can now see that I had recalculated the scores for Emily, Tom and Ellen, because actually when I was about to play their round 10, that's about the time that I made the spreadsheet. But I wrote them down because I'm now seeing that it made matters worse, and that's why I wasn't sure what I wanted to do and if I wanted to change them. So Emily's new high score is pleasure and secondary highest at romance, and knowledge actually -11. So that would really change her. Didn't like that. Like pleasure and romance is like the most annoying combination. And the same for Tom. His highest scoring was pleasure at 12, romance at 11, and fortune was -5. So again, that would just make him all the more annoying and completely lose his money drive that he had going on. Ellen scores were pleasure at 12, romance at 9, and fortune at only 3. So she'd also be a pleasure and romance sim, which would just spin everything on its head. So that's why I've only noted them down and not done anything with them yet, because now I'm really not sure. However, these guys have had their aspirations changed up. Max was a popularity sim and he's now a pleasure with a secondary of family. His current lifetime wish is to have 50 dream dates. He's currently a level 4 in the military career as a junior officer, and he graduated in the physics major. Max is sloppy and active. His traits are active, disciplined, party animal, charismatic, and a dog lover, and family oriented. His hobby is fitness, and that's why he has his very own exercise machine in his room here, and also trains on this obstacle course out back. He's interested in sports, school, health, toys, travel, and animals, and hates politics, work, culture, fashion, and sci-fi. If we take a look at his memories, he had his first woohoo with Roxie. He was really smitten by Roxie, but got rejected to go steady with her, but then she eventually said yes. I was not expecting that at all. I didn't think she would ever say yes, because I have a mod that makes like romance sims and sims with commitment issues have a really low chance of actually accepting proposals like that, and she did, and that blew my mind. So he did go steady with Roxie for a little bit, but then he eventually caught her cheating, which was just inevitable. So much so that they actually got into a fight. It really hit him hard. So obviously they broke up. He became enemies with Chaz because that is who he saw her with. But then he eventually moved on to a dormie called Brittany Macaulay, and had woohoo and fell in love with her. But then he graduated and moved out and all that kind of stuff. And then at that point, kind of when he became an adult and graduated, he had a date with Ellen. I actually need to age Brittany up, really. I've since started like coming up with a system to age the townies along with the sims that they know. But like at that point it was like, oh well, Brittany's still at uni, and he met Ellen and developed a thing with her. So then he asked Brittany to just be friends. So they split amicably. They were never going steady, so they just got rid of those crush and love flags by the asked to just be friends interaction by Midge. And then his relationship developed with Ellen. He tried to fix a computer and got electrocuted. I changed his aspiration and he got engaged to Ellen. He got his dog Benny, who should absolutely not be a puppy. I don't know how I didn't put that together. So he has been an adult for, and mind you, I don't think he did get Benny on like the first day. No, because he managed to go to work and get a promotion. So I think I'd probably just age Benny up to an adult and leave it there. Like, not worry about how many days it should be, because he's not as old as long as Max has been an adult for, which is 7 days. So yeah, I think probably just like the 4 days to get him to the start of adulthood would be about right-ish. Looking at his relationships, he gets on great with his friend Mitch, who he starts with, and Mitch's partner Drake. His little dog Benny. Ellen still gets on great with Brittany, just as friends now, by one of the mascots. Juliet is like his other best friend, but he's not too close to anyone, and I guess that's why popularity wasn't really right for him, and his personality and interests reflected that too. And he's still on really bad terms with Chaz and Jonah, who he has seen Roxie with. He kind of has a big heart, I think, and just he really got really hurt by it. His bio says Max is trying to absorb some of Mitch's cool vibe. He enjoys reading and cooking. Honestly, I didn't really do anything with that bio because I don't even see him as someone that enjoys reading and cooking, to be honest. He's, likes fitness, not reading. He likes to be doing stuff, not sat reading. And he's like all sloppy and careless, so isn't much of a cook either. But I don't know how many cooking skills did he manage to get. But right. So yeah, I think that needs updating, but we've covered everything we need to cover. So let's move on to Mitch now. I'm very much kept his Maxis look because it's like quite a distinguished look, I suppose, so I didn't want to take that away from him too much. His aspiration hasn't actually changed, and I'll tell you for why. Because his highest aspiration score is romance, and like, although I'm pretty sure the hopeless romantic trait will avoid it, I don't want anything to go wrong with this marriage, so I'm going to change his aspiration when they get married, because I do very much see him as a hopeless romantic, and like, sure, he can just like want to focus on his love with Drake after marriage, but I just don't want that romance primary having a heavy effect on maybe him like leaving him at the altar or something like that, because that would be really annoying to have to reset a community law and things like that, because I don't see that that's what he would do, so that's why I'm just holding off there. But his secondary is romance, so honestly it probably won't make much of a difference, but you know, just in case, I'd like to wait until they're married to change him to a romance and pleasure. The worst kind of sim. Is anyone a self-confessed romance sim, by the way? You know, like when people say, oh, what would your aspiration be? Does anyone honestly say that they would be a romance sim? I'd really like to know. Because that is some balls if you can admit that, like, good on you. I'd say if I had the hates children trait, I would be a family sim, because I really care about my love and relationship and my darling pets, but I have no interest in children. But like with the normal Maxi stuff, I would probably be a pleasure and either like a knowledge or fortune. I kind of flip-flop between the two, whether I'm more driven by knowledge or money, to be fair. Anyway, sorry for the tangent. What kind of sim are you? Let me know down below. Mitch's current lifetime one is to reach the top of the fame career. What's it called? What's his career actually called? Show business. There we go. He's currently only level 3 though. He didn't do so well in university, and it's just like it's a really hard career, I find. Like, I've never managed to get a sim to do well in it. So I'll have to see. I can see him getting fired really soon, or at least stuck, because I can't see him wanting to get them body skill points that he needs to get promoted. So yeah, I think that's a long way away for him. Mitch is sloppy, outgoing, lazy, playful, and nice, so that's a really strong personality. His traits are good sense of humour, party animal, dramatic, cat person, couch potato, and a hopeless romantic. So as for being a cat person, the little pupper Benny will be moving out with Max. He's very much Max's dog. So I think these two will eventually get a cat, hopefully anyway. Mitch's hobby is films and literature. He really enjoys to watch movies, but he actually also films as well. He uses this camera item, which is a mod by Crisps and Kerosene, which is a functional camera. So he can practice filming on here, and it's like uses the telescope animation. It's really cool. His interests are politics, entertainment, culture, fashion, travel, animals, and sci-fi. And he hates crime, food, sports, work, school, paranormal. His memories aren't that exciting. He, was with Drake quite early on in his university experience, and when they started going steady, he came to live with them. They got engaged whilst in university, so they've been engaged for quite a long time now. I don't know what happened there. They had a little blip, I guess, but got through it, obviously. And yeah, graduated, got a job, blah blah blah, friends. Nothing too interesting. His relationship, so he has a great 3-ball relationship with his fiance Drake. Great friendship with Max. He has not bonded with this dog at all, so won't miss him. It's really not his dog. He's good friends with Desdemona Capp, Phineaus Furley, Delilah Furley, Aaron Anderson is a... How do you pronounce that, by the way? Because my boyfriend's called Aaron, and we say Aaron. Do you say Aaron? Because in my mind, that's a different name. Aaron has one A and potentially two R's. So yeah, to me, that's Aaron. And he's getting to know Victor Capp, which is nice, but also could be interesting because obviously being a romance sim with a hopeless romantic trait, he won't be actively seeking to have multiple loves. But if he rolls once specifically for another sim, then that's different, and I would have to pursue that. It's all the drama, Mick. I just love it. He also really doesn't get along with Roxie, and that's because he hurt his dear friend Max. Mitch's bio says Mitch is into innovation, whether it's music, fashion, or art. He's a true hipster. I guess he's a bit of a hipster. I suppose he's specified the film kind. But yeah, I guess there's a bit more to it than that. He's actually not that dedicated, but does love to watch a good film. So let's meet his fiance, Drake Jayapalan. He is one of the secret society sims. They met during university, and as you can see, he actually doesn't want to be married right now, so I'm going to postpone that, but they do want to go on a date, so I'm sure that one will roll. He wants to go on a vacation, so I think they would have a honeymoon, although they will need to take a loan out. I think they already have a loan. Yes, Mitch is actually $9,000 in debt to afford this house. Oh, and by the way, Ellen was also slightly in debt for her house, but just $3,000, so I'm sure she'll pay that back soon. But yeah, they could always take a bit more out. They do all have jobs, so me as the loan officer, I suppose if they are all working, then they may take some more money out to have their special occasion. Drake is now at least a fortune sim, but I'm pretty sure he used to be a knowledge sim. Yes, he did used to be a knowledge sim. He has a secondary of pleasure, and I think that used to be family. So yeah, he's changed a little bit since college, but no worries. He's just more driven towards his career now. He's, gone through university as a knowledge sim, learned what he needs to learn, and now he is kind of closed that chapter in his life and is now pursuing and earning in his job. His current lifetime wish is also to become top of the military career, but I think he's very much more dedicated to that than Max is. But he is also still at level 4, but I think he will advance a lot more and a lot quicker than Max will. He has all the skills he needs, so yeah, I'm sure next time he goes to work today, he will get that promotion. I seem to have the carpool not coming bug, because it's 7 o'clock and it's not here. Let's see if it comes. Yeah, so for some reason, I get a bug where the carpool stops showing up. So what I do is I use the bat box to force errors on off-world. So if you get some weird things like that happening, this is a great tool to use, but make sure you turn testing sheets off first, otherwise you will be bombarded with lots and lots and lots of pop-ups. So if you turn it off, things will just, reset quietly in the background, and then you can turn it back on when it's done its thing. Wow, another sidetrack. Where were we? Drake is sloppy, shy, active, and playful. And his traits are active, workaholic, good sense of humour, loves the heat, and perceptive. And as you can see, he has some balls in his inventory because he likes sports, so he can play catch and toss football and things like that. And I think they both have TVs in their inventory. I'm sure someone had a TV in their inventory. Yeah, so they could definitely upgrade the telly in here. Yes, with the networking, they've both been networked to try some TVs out. Come on, Drake, don't pull that face. We're looking at you. So yeah, as I said, Drake's hobby is sports, particularly basketball, and that's why we have a basketball court outside, but he also uses this obstacle course to train. His interests are politics, food, sports, work, paranormal, weather, and he hates money, entertainment. Wow, he hates money and his calculator is a fortune sim. Wow. Money, entertainment, health, environment, culture, fashion. I think his memories will be pretty boring. He got demoted from a chance card, so yeah, that's why he's not further ahead than Max, but I'm sure he'll work his way back up in no time. But yeah, other than that, it's just college and Mitch and things. So let's have a look at his relationships. gets on great with both Max and Mitch. He has actually bonded with this dog, so that might be a little bit sad for him to move out, but I'm sure he'll see him plenty and they can always get another pet. But I'm sure because that's Mitch's preference, it will be a cat. I think that actually suits Mitch a lot more, and I don't think Drake will be opposed to that. I kind of, in a case where a townie is married in, I kind of see them as like a side character. So like within this couple, Mitch is the main character, so his wants are more important to me and his preferences are slightly more important to me. So yeah, and his only other friend is Peter Sims, a garden club member. Congrats. And I don't think Drake has a bio, does he? No. Guess I need to write him one. So yeah, that is the Indie Jayapalan household. I think I might make both of their second names that when they get married. Otherwise I'd just keep them as they are. I don't see a need for Drake to take Mitch's name. It doesn't really carry any status or anything. But yeah, as you can see, this house is quite a mess and things are going to pot. But you know, it is working out really well for them. I really like this room. Mitch likes a bit of green and black, so that this room is definitely decorated to their taste. I've just realised these bathrooms are identical. I think I copied this actually from Reagan's old house as well, so that's why the bathrooms are exactly the same as they were in Henry and Puck's, who I left like how Reagan left as well. So whoopsie doopsie. And you know, this spare room decorated to match Max's taste, and he will be clearing out of there, and then they will have a spare room to start a family in case they want to adopt, but neither of them will be family sims anymore, so who knows. They might just enjoy each other's company and potentially in Mitch's case look elsewhere, but hopefully not. So lastly, we're heading to the Flop house to see our last two households. The Powers household with Jonah Powers and Roxie Sharpe, and the Whippler household with Chaz Whippler. I would say last and not least, but they kind of are least. They are my least favourite to play with, but we'll get into that in a moment. Let's go and see the Powers household. So this is the Veronaville Flop house. I built this lot myself. It is kind of loosely wow, my game's laggy, what the hell? It is kind of loosely inspired by Flappy or Slappy's Flop House that you can download. Oh, we've got some terrain level issues here. Whoops a daisy. Oh well. That you can download and that is featured a lot in Pleasant Sims, Pleasant View series. I didn't use that a lot because obviously that is very made for Pleasant View and didn't really fit the vibes of Veronaville. And actually, just as I needed this lot, someone did actually upload a Veronaville flop house to Mod The Sims, which I did download, but I just found it wasn't quite right for me. And since the build, like, pretty much only ever needs to be a box, I was like, you know what, I can build this myself, and then that way I can just make the inside the way I would like it. And I'd like to draw your attention to this item here, which is a electrical box, and it means it is part of an experimental mod by Lamar, which you can download from a thread in Mod The Sims, and it means all kinds of things can go wrong. It kind of brings back the power outage scenario that was scrapped from the early like beta game. So the electricity can go out and the phone lines can go down. So actually right now there is a problem. I think it's actually with the box itself this time. It could be all kinds of different things, but depending on what it is, you won't be able to use electrical items like the TV and the computer. It is in early access and beta, bear in mind, so there are sometimes problems. Like I had a problem where the computer just like never came back on, stopped working, so I had to rebuy it. And little things like that, but overall it's been great. And sometimes just the phone lines can go down, so you can't actually use the phone, and these guys don't have mobile phones, so it can really heavily impact them. And so it can be all dark because they can't have any lights on and all that kind of thing. By the way, I usually end my game at 6 o'clock in the morning, and they tend to be still in bed at that time, so for every household have got them out of bed, got them changed, and had them make the bed so it looks presentable. And then it set it to 7 o'clock, so we have the daylight, not the dawn lighting from my lighting mod. And then I make sure all the lights are set to auto. But when I click this light to do that, I saw that it needs a new bulb, and I don't know if that has always been in the game. Please tell me it hasn't. Are you serious? I had no idea, but I think it's probably part of the thingy mod. I can't remember what it's actually called. And also, with this, you can set the area and the lot settings. So you can say, all right, this is a good lot, but it's in a bad area. But in cases like this, it's a bad area and a bad lot. So that maximizes the amount of things that can go wrong. It's really cool. And because it's an apartment, the landlord does come and repair it often, but you can also use it on houses, and then in which case it would be up to your Sims to use. But I'd probably find it a bit too much in a normal house, but I think it works really well for this lot. So this is inside, and honestly, I kind of regret making it like this. I regret how much communal space there is. Because it kind of unintentionally makes it a little bit cheaty, because the fridge is always stocked, and it's a bit annoying how you can't just regularly serve meals. You have to make a group meal and then serve it, and so I don't really like having a shared kitchen like this. It actually makes it a little bit too easy. And yeah, everything in it is pretty cheap, and I tried to make it look a bit cottagey. And alright, I did want to make it a bit better than the original Slappy's flop house, because I do see Veronaville as a more prestigious place with nicer things in. But if I were to do this again, I would make the lot smaller, but with the rooms bigger, and each room would have a little kitchenette with a small fridge and a microwave and stuff, and that's what they would have to live on instead, because I think that would actually make it more challenging. This lot has not been as challenging as I intended. It serves the purpose. They certainly don't have room to sort of do their own thing. So this is their room. They have managed to squeeze in this hobby item here. Obviously, it's all default decoration. I kind of in my mind, they're not allowed to decorate these rooms. And these guys are really slobby, so they have not taken care of this bathroom at all. But yeah, so that's all. It's just a room and an ensuite, which is the space I've got, which is a bit better than the original flop house, because then that's shared bathrooms, but I thought they could have an ensuite. But otherwise, yeah, it's all shared amenities. So with that out of the way, let's take a look at Jonah Powers here, otherwise known as Monkey Face. Look at that. Look at that face. Don't know what this texture glitch is I keep getting under my beds. That's annoying. Ignore that, please. So Jonah is still a romance sim, and has a secondary of fortune. And when I recalculated his scores, he got pleasure at 15, fortune at 13, and romance at 9. So I could actually turn him into a primary fortune and secondary pleasure, but it's he's really far down this romance route, so it is kind of a big change of pace of life doing that. And him and Roxie are obviously in an open relationship, they get on very well, but there's no strings attached, they both just sleep around. And yeah, it's so boring to play, honestly. All they do is date someone new, make out with them, woohoo with them, next. Oh, God. And both of them are right all the time, so one of them goes to a community a lot while the other one brings it home. It's dull. So, maybe I would prefer him as a pleasure and fortune sim, but I just don't know what that would make the situation with Roxie. I can still say that he would still be okay with an open relationship, but I just kind of feel bad for him, because she'd be sleeping around and he wouldn't. So that's why I've left that for now. His current lifetime wish is to become a rock god, and he's currently unemployed because he did eventually finally rather want to join the career, and then got fired from it. But I think I'm going to make him rejoin, because honestly, this is getting ridiculous. Because Roxie is also unemployed, she's shown no interest in getting a job at all. and I've had no reason to justify forcing her. Because they pay such little rent, they've actually not been doing bad at all. They actually have 1,000 away in the bank accounts each, and they've got over 2,000 in the household fund, so they're not living desperately. But hopefully that will slip down, what with them both not having a job currently, and they will want to, or at least want to get some money. So we'll have to see what these useless bums decide to do with their lives. Jonah is sloppy, outgoing, active, and grouchy. His traits are virtuoso, commitment issues, grumpy, party animal, slob, lucky, active, eco-friendly, charismatic, night owl, and irresistible. I guess I just thought a lot of traits suited him. He has some stuff in his inventory. A lot of it is from date rewards, which I have now gotten rid of, and I just don't want him to get the money for. But his hobby object is in here, which is a drum kit. And obviously he has nowhere to put it. His hobby is music and dance, and he can't, focus on his sub-hobby that is drums, but at least he can dabble on Roxie's guitar. He's interested in food, money, weather, environment and culture and animals, and hates school, health, paranormal, toys, fashion, and sci-fi. So he should really be a supernatural skeptic as well, actually. Let's have a look at his memories. Probably lots of woohoos. His first one was with Roxie. They do start the game together. He woohooed with her before they kissed. Wow, classy. He got put on academic probation more than once. Had a very rocky time through university. So yeah, he had a thing with Holly Goldman, with his maid Ariana. So that's 3. Zoe McGaw, Viola Creelman, Emily Lee. More falling out with people that he hurt, caught him and fell out with him. Another academic probation. Jane, never made it to a boohoo with Jane, but making out with her, and then she fell out with him. He's managed to develop a lot of loves, actually. There've been more than flings, but has broken a lot of hearts. Ellen, Brittany McCauley, who Max saw, I'm pretty sure that was after they broke up. Oh no, or could it have been? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was after they broke up, but I'm not too sure. Got rejected by Alan Thomason, but did actually win her over and woohooed with her. Garden Club member. April Hutchins, a Veronaville townie. Wow, that class as a service NPC, the cheerleaders. Wow, okay. Another Garden Club member, Jill Smith. So, God, I don't even know how many that is, but it's more than 10, and he's on his way to 20. So yeah, as you can see here, he lost his job, and he made enemies with Armando, because Roxie went with him, and then he saw them together, and now he hates him. And obviously he lost Ellen as a friend as well when he hurt her. But yeah, lots of dating, kissing, woohooing, friends gained, friends lost, that kind of thing. So let's have a look at his relationships. Very good 3-bolt relationship with Roxie. It's just casual. So he have his successful romances. From his perspective, that doesn't mean they aren't feeling bitter towards him if he's hurt them. So we've got Jane, Alan, Viola, Ariana, Brittany, Holly, Emily, Ellen, April, Jill, and that's it. Another one that doesn't like this Carmen Patch. She must be a really horrible person because lots of people don't like her. His bio says, everyone seems to want to be with Jonah, the bad boy on campus, but his main concern is getting his girlfriend's annoying brother out of the house as soon as possible. So again, very much about his college years, needs updating. Never did get Edwin out. Let's have a look at their relationship. I think they ended up getting on okay. Is it just neutral? Yeah, he just has a neutral relation with Edwin. I think it started negative, so at least it's not there, and they just haven't really seen each other since, I suppose. But yeah, everyone still wants to be with him as a bad boy. I mean, something must be appealing. It's certainly not that face. He goes for makeup and creative and is turned off by fatness, so very shallow, but he likes to share his music with people, so that is a big turn on for him. Realise I've not been doing turn-ons. No worries. Roxie is still a romance sim, and her secondary is pleasure, and when I recalculated her, it was just pleasure at 20 and romance at 12. So she'd just be a primary pleasure and secondary romance. Wouldn't really make a huge difference to her as a person. So it doesn't really matter either. I do that a lot. She dropped out from college. It just got to a point where I couldn't justify forcing her to do anything. Edwin actually started rolling once to help her to do assignments, but if she didn't have those skill points she needs, there was nothing he could do. So yeah, that's why she's missing that one slot unlock. But she did get one, from aging from a young adult to an adult decently. But yeah, I think she deserves to miss out on those. Her current lifetime wish is to have 50 dream dates, so yeah, she likes to date around. She's currently unemployed, never showed any interest in employment, but she does like music like Jonah does, specifically the bass. So yeah, hopefully when they start running out of money, she might want to join the music career. I don't know, I could have them go on social welfare, but I feel like I need some rules for that. I feel like that should only be allowed if it's to support a child. I really hope these guys have an accidental pregnancy soon. Obviously, like, there's so many chances for Roxie to have it, like, from seeing other people. I don't know how I'd know who the dad is. I'm sure there'd be a way that I'd be able to tell. Jonah, I keep trying to remember to make his shags selectable, but I do forget. Yeah, I really hope these two bring some new blood into the world, because that's basically the only reason I haven't made these gas towners. I don't love playing with them. I'm not particularly attached to them. It is kind of fun that Roxie causes drama, not gonna lie. But like, they are having so much sex. Bring some babies into this world, please. That is literally your only purpose here. Otherwise, get out of my hood. You are useless. I cannot believe there has not been an accidental pregnancy yet, especially when it's happened in other households. Definitely with Goneril, pretty sure with Reagan. Like, come on, ACR, I want an accidental pregnancy. Anyway, Roxie is outgoing and grouchy, and her traits are virtuoso, commitment issues, party animal, brooding, grumpy, and a night owl. She has all kind of crazy date stuff. She has this huge guitar, but her sub-hobby that I did choose for her is bass. That's why she's focusing on that, and won't be enough room for that rock hammer anyway. But they did have a whole like attic area in the uni house for music, so that's where that's from. She is interested in food, work. Hello, get a job then, please. I might take that as she'd want a job, actually. Might just make her get a job next round, not gonna lie. Entertainment, culture, fashion, and travel. And she hates crime, sports, health, paranormal, and sci-fi. Her memories are also romance-filled, cheating-filled, drama-filled. So we start out with Jonah, and then she had something with Max and Chaz around a similar time. As you can see, she kissed Chaz like sooner than she proceeded with Max. Then did woohoo with Chaz, and then Max after, so that was definitely at the same time. She went study with Max, as we saw, and that's obviously a bad memory for her, and got put on academic probation. Absolutely loved having affairs whilst with poor Max. Several affairs. Woohooed with Tom, Gary, Jonathan, more academic probation. Got caught by Max, and then they broke up. Ethan, Peter Sims got expelled, but has good memories of her younger brother Edwin doing well. And the landlord Armando, Patrick, Nathan, Newt. I think that was a blind date. He's a Takamizu local, so yeah, I'm pretty sure he was like a set up date. Amin, Campbell, William. So yeah, she's really shagging her way through this town. Honestly, without the annoying social group tannings and that, I don't know what I'd do with romance sims. So they're lucky they do have a pool to mess about with. So yeah, her target is 20. She'd probably have the 20 make out one as well, but I was never able to lock that in because she only has the one of them. So looking at her relationship, Jonah at the top, their neighbour Chaz, Nathan, Tom Freshe, this Takamizo loco. Jonathan is definitely a Veronaville townie, the landlord, Gary Thompson, think he was Adorme, Amin, Dorme, Patrick Boo, Veronaville Townie. She's distant friends with Miranda. They need to work to maintain that relationship. They do have a lot in common, these two. Pretty on good terms with her brother Edwin, and as you can see, she's actually like had some woohoos without like building much relationship at all. They probably were all the most Roman Sims, so they were able to like go straight to a casual woohoo without really developing a relationship. And yeah, still really doesn't get on with Max at all. Rather than that, I think it's all one-sided. There's a lot of people that dislike her, but she just doesn't really care. Roxie's bio says Roxie is doing fairly well at school and is highly tolerant of her brother Edwin, or so she says. She likes to shop. That is like the worst bio I have ever read. She ended up doing terribly in school, the only sim to drop out. Did tolerate her brother Edwin, and ended up getting on really well with him. Don't know what the like to shop thing is. Never really did anything with that. It's very much so she likes to play music. So yeah, there we have the Heartbreakers, Jonah and Roxie. So lastly, finally, I think I have, oh my god, so many hours of footage. Anyway, this is Chaz Whippler. He lives in this room opposite Roxie and Jonah, in a very blue themed room. Also a slob and does not take care of his place. So Chaz is a romance sim still with a secondary of pleasure. Woohoo, my favourite. But recalculating his aspiration scores told me that the top was pleasure at 9 and secondary was popularity at 7, so he could change to that. But similar to Jonah, like, he's already so far down this romance route, like, but I guess he just might have had enough, you know? I might do it next round. I might just unlock these once, change his aspiration, and see what he wants to do. You know, it might have been a phase. He might just decided he still wants to have fun, but he's fed up with going through women and having shallow relationships and being a heartbreaker, and he'd perhaps like to mend some of the relationships and people's hurt and build some friendships. So I think that could definitely be on the cards for him. His current lifetime wish is to woohoo with 20 different sims, and I really do think that has reflected that period of his life. And honestly, I don't know whether to wait until he actually hits that and then potentially like, well, he's done everything he wanted to do there and now he's changed. Because I don't think he's far away from hitting that at all. He is currently level 5 in the gamer career, so he's not a complete waste of space, unlike Roxie and Jonah are currently. So he's not doing too bad for himself, living this little bachelor life in the flop house. He has very low standards, so it suits him quite well. Because he is very sloppy. And he is also outgoing and playful. His traits are commitment issues, party animals, inappropriate, slob, childish, and a mooch. I initially made him also have the flirty trait, and with the inappropriate and flirty trait with the right mod from the traits project, that would make him lecherous. Is that how you say it? Lecherous. Like the drama professors are by default, and also stops that, where they just develop random relationships, like, you know, fall in love with Sims randomly, like on first sight, and then pursue them in an appropriate way because they're a lot closer to them, and will start like just trying to make these big advancements that they're really uncomfortable with. But I just found it like too much and too annoying. I just didn't like it. It's kind of mean as well because it's like so little regard for like their feelings and stuff, and he isn't grouchy. So yeah, I kind of reset those relationships, took away those flags, and got rid of that flirty trait, but kept the inappropriate one, because I feel like he, you know, doesn't mean badly, but he kind of acts strangely. Is a bit weird sometimes. His hobby is games. His sub-hobby is actually poker. That's what he likes to do. But he enjoys computer games too. But specifically poker, and he did get to do like a lot in his dorm at university. And now obviously can go to the secret lock to do that there. But he also dabbles in tinkering with this remote control car. He likes to whiz that around. But it actually hasn't affected his enthusiasm tinkering at all. But he does play with that. He's interested in crime, food, entertainment, health, And that's it. And hates work, school, paranormal, culture, and animals. His relationships were like similar to Roxie and Jonah. Wow, lots of fights. I think this happened from the Latourus. Yeah, like there's that useless Stormy that died. Like having these one-sided relationships made him like get really disliked because he would really make people fall out with him, make people really uncomfortable. So like yeah, like he fell in love with Max and things like that, like all kinds of crazy stuff. Didn't like it at all. Although it was a particular doormaid that he absolutely hated, and I guess got ass handed to him every time. That's hilarious. His first woohoo was also with Roxie. She's taken a lot of cherries, huh? He had woohoo with Emily, and like I said, at that point, he kind of broke Emily's heart, but that changed her after that. A dormy called Amy, Zoe McGaw, Holly. Lost a fight with Max because of how he caught her with Roxie. Her Emily got maximum enthusiasm in games. That was it in uni, so he didn't get that many under his belt during uni, but he's since had Regina, Veronaville Townie. His old professor, he went back and did something there while not in her classes anymore. A dormy called Kitty, Marie Roshka, I think that's a social group townie. Tamara Carlson is a tourist, so that was a blind date. Jenna Spitzig, Tybalt Solflame. So yeah, I guess he's only just surpassed 10. I'm not going to count right now, but yeah, he's not had loads and loads, so yeah, I don't know whether to wait till he hits that 20 or change his aspiration now. Let me know what you think, especially considering that I don't particularly enjoy doing this romance thing. His bio said, Chaz really dislikes anyone that thinks he's cooler than he is. He keeps looking for love in all the wrong places and wonder why he hasn't found him yet. So that's a really good bio for him. He keeps looking for love in all the wrong places. That could be that the penny's finally dropped. And now he wants to look for love in some better places. He's still not like going all in there, but yeah, I kind of like him taking this turn at this point in his life. What do you think? And yeah, that's it. Wow. I have been talking about Sims for so long. That is the last Sim. So that is finally it. Thank you so much for watching this series. I really hope you enjoyed it. Remember to leave a like and comment if you did. Please let me know your thoughts, especially on the Academie Le Tour Premades. You know, what do you think about them? Who are your favourites? Have you had a harder time connecting with them compared to other premades like I have? What hoods have you integrated them into? I'd love to hear. And remember to subscribe for more if you want already. I'll be continuing with the Opening Valley Let's Play hopefully, and doing some mod showcases and tutorials. Also check out my Tumblr for the mods I release. I've released a few mods for Sims 2 since the last episode, and I've also made a huge post about all the mods that I've made and yet to release, and all the mods I have ideas for. So check that out and make sure you're following to keep an eye on those. Also, just a reminder that I am a CD Keys affiliate, so if you are interested in buying games and packs for lower prices from a trustworthy source, whether it be packs for Sims 4 or maybe something different like Hogwarts Legacy, you can use my link in the description, and that'll mean that I get 5% of the commission at no extra cost to you, so it's just a great passive way to support me. If you'd like to support me even further, you can always consider leaving a super thanks, buying me a coffee or becoming a Patreon. I'd really appreciate any support. And if you'd like to chat or ask any questions about modding or anything like that, join my Discord. Again, all the links you need are in the description. And to fill you in about where I'm at with Veronaville, I'm actually now already playing round 20. I have recorded a round of each family without commentary and completely filled my hard drive with that footage. But at least that's there, which I can do something with for a future series, but I'm not too sure right now. It's all a bit overwhelming, so I'll have to have a think about it. Let me know your thoughts. So stay tuned, and thanks again. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.